Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a Trude, and welcome to Wargroove, my Game of the Year 2019. Now, you might be thinking, it's a little bit early for me to be naming my Game of the Year 2019. To which I would reply, Wargroove is basically Advance Wars, except one of the COs is a dog, whose special ability is that he's such a good boy, your troops get an extra free turn. So basically, I don't see what could possibly beat this game this year. The thing is that Advance Wars sits in a very special place in my heart. I kind of put it in the same box as Resident Evil 4, as Skies of Arcadia, as Rome Total War, as Mass Effect 1. It is one of the finest games ever flipping made. This was a turn-based strategy game back on the Game Boy Advance the better part of 2 decades ago. It was an absolute flipping classic. We haven't had an Advance Wars game for a flipping decade. Nintendo has just been resolutely ignoring this franchise. So along came this indie team and basically just made their own. And it is literally just Advance Wars. Like how the first commander you play as is Mercia of the Cherrystone Kingdom, colour-coded red, whose special ability is to heal her troops. As opposed to the first commanding officer you play as in Advance Wars, Andy, colour-coded orange, whose special ability is to heal his troops. And I don't mean this as criticism, by the way. If you stealing everything Nintendo hasn't nailed down gets me a new Advance Wars game, I will drive the flipping getaway car. Because as a result of that, we've got ourselves a fancy-themed Advance Wars with some new hero stuff thrown in that begins with a little anime of all the commanding officers being awesome, and watching this genuinely makes me feel a bit emotional. Alright, let's flipping dive in. One rainy night at Cherrystone Castle. Oh, bad things are about to happen. Oh, it's a person dressed in blue in the land where everyone's dressed in red. That is not going to be good news. Getting to the king shouldn't be much of a challenge. And there we are. Okay, so we're just doing basic movement tutorials here. Gotcha. This is all really easy to pick up stuff, by the way, which is what was wonderful about Advance Wars. It's easy to learn, difficult to master. So basically, yeah, it's a turn-based game. You pick a unit, they've got a movement range and then an attack range. Some units are melee, some are ranged. This is clearly a melee unit. So we just, yeah, move over there, then pick someone to attack. She runs over there, does that. That'll be the end of our turn because this is the only unit, so I'm just playing as a hero right now. They'll get a turn, but probably the enemy won't be moving on this occasion because they don't know I'm coming. Yep, that there is the King of Cherrystone. And, oh, he's got a terrible secret that I'm guessing he's not going to have the opportunity to tell her, but it might be important for the plot down the line. There was once a kingdom called Cacophony and a war known as the Great Dissonance. Okay, so the kingdom called Cacophony is just Black Hole, so they're going to be the real villains, alright? This is basically just Advance Wars, so we know for a fact that though the red guys and the blue guys are going to be at war at the beginning, it's all going to be a misunderstanding, and probably the blue guys have been somewhat led astray by Cacophony, who are very likely going to be colour-coded in black. Alright? And I don't mind the fact that I know all of that ahead of time, because it's just like a reassuring hug from a dear old friend. Alright? I already love this game. Also, I like that the Doomed King is called Merciful, and decided to call his daughter Mercia, which strikes me as a little bit on the narcissistic side. Oh, I love his little attention shock thought things there. That's beautiful. And oh, okay, so Sigrid can just basically murder people. Gotcha. And Sigrid wants to know where the key is. You'll never have it. The key is in safe hands, far from the grasp of a monster like you. And you know he means it because the word monster's doing a little dance. And so we move on to the heroine of this campaign, his daughter, Mercia, and her dog, Caesar, because she's got an armoured battle dog who can actually command armies by himself, which is just the best thing ever. Oh my goodness, and the dog is happy when she's happy, because this is just the most wonderful game. And he also gets to contribute to the conversations. He has said woof, and woof some more. Beautiful. Oh, he's trying to warn her. And I'm guessing, by the way, the king's dead, by the way. The king has been killed. And, oh my goodness, is the dog actually crying? 11 out of 10, game of the year, game of all the flipping years, best game ever made. And confirmation that Sigrid was apparently a vampire. And she is part of, yeah, the Felheim Legion. Right, so let's get on with some nice war then. Right, several months later, we've had time for a bit of a quick coronation there. I've now got a crown these days, spot on. Oh, love it. The moment there's actual action, she just tosses the crown off and just leaves it be. Yeah, that's right, you can have that crown now. It's yours, you can be king. I'm more comfortable on the front lines. Normally, of course, in this game, you're not actually using a hero, you're using day-to-day troops. So this here swordsman is just a basic bit of very cheap infantry. And yeah, a large part of this game is about positioning and cover. So if I move into this forest here, that's got a bit of cover, so I can attack this guy, and after that, any troops who survive my initial attack will counter-attack me immediately, but then after my turn ends, he might decide to attack me back directly, at which point, me being in the forest, I actually get a good defensive advantage. Very, very useful indeed. This will, however, take a little bit of getting used to, because, yes, some stuff has just slightly changed from Advance Wars. In particular, like, yeah, the basic infantry in Advance Wars, the infantry unit, moved 3 squares, whereas the actual basic swordsman in this game moves 4. That's gonna throw me off a couple of times. Still, with 2 swordsmen, we should be able to, yeah, finish this guy off. Lovely. Ooh, we've got something new here. Critical hits. This wasn't in Advance Wars. Right, so, how do criticals work? Spearmen have a little bit of the phalanx about them. They can score a critical hit if another spearman is adjacent to them, like they're forming a little line of spears. Gotcha. So, slower, more powerful, can move 3 instead of 4 spaces, and very effective against large units, just like the mech unit was in Advance Wars. Fine, absolutely spot on. So, 2 pikemen, side by side, and oh yeah, 120 because of the critical. Flippin' love it. So in go my spearmen, give them a good stabbing, and obviously they don't get to counterattack because they all died in the initial push. Spot flipping on. And I'm assuming when that guy tries to push against me, because I've already got myself drawn up in the line, yeah, I'll be in good shape right there. And it sounds like every unit has a critical hit these days, so basic swordsmen, they get a critical hit when adjacent to, the commander, the hero unit that's not on the field right now, but might be under normal circumstances. Got it. Now, the good thing that we've actually got going on here is this unit standing on a road. Roads basically mean this guy has no defense whatsoever. They're easy to move along, but if we can just get into the... No, we can't get into that forest, because the forest has a bit of a problem, which is, yeah, they're harder to walk through. So even infantry need to use 2 of their movement points to go inside. That's fine. In which case, attack with the strongest guy first from the plane, because that at least has a little bit of defense on it. So, head over here, we can do 60 damage immediately, and my other unit should be able to finish these guys off. If you've played Advance Wars before, this is all 100% fine, nice and simple stuff. I'm going to actually move you over to here, so these guys can just get round to assist with any more reinforcements coming in, but this should not be a problem at all at this point. This is just a little tutorial for people who are not familiar with Advance Wars. Alright, so, their spearmen are attacking me. Do I get an automatic critical in return? It looks like I did, because that definitely did a lot of damage. So, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move you over there and let the strong guy attack. Attack down over there. He gets the critical because he's still adjacent to the previous guy, but it's the strong guys to make sure we guarantee we get the kill immediately. And job done. In this game, it's all about positioning and making sure you've got the right unit to engage the right unit. And now we learn about the leader, which isn't actually Sigrid. It's Valda, a living man and a necromancer of great power I haven't forgotten. Fine, so there's an undead army because they've got themselves a necromancer running the show. Oh my goodness, at the end of the battle, the guy who's trying to give me my crown shows up just a little bit too late after I've already gone on to the next battle. Oh, I love this game already. Oh, but first we've got a third commander to deal with. Hello! Who are you precisely? I'm the person that's gonna smash, bash, and pulverize you. And apparently her name's Ragnar. Spot on. And she's got wings coming out of her head. Marvellous. Can you fly with those, or are they purely decorative? Alright, new unit, a ranger. Ranged unit so we can hit the skeleton from here. But his deal is, yeah, critical hit if he actually doesn't move while firing. So these guys can actually move and fire. So they're a bit different from Advance Wars artillery, but they're much, much stronger if they fire without moving. Gotcha. That's a nice little compromise. So yeah, if this guy doesn't move, he can actually wipe out that infantry in a single hit. Spot on. And we're also into buying units too. So yeah, every building you hold on the map generates 100 gold per turn. You can use that at certain recruitment spots to actually trade new units. So yeah, basic swordsman to basically act as defense for my ranger. Flippin' spot on. And then we can say, we actually specify which space we want him to spawn on. So they don't actually spawn on the actual barracks anymore. You actually choose what direction you want them to appear in. That's kind of cool. And as for capturing new buildings to get more money, okay, that's changed a little bit. So rather than actually moving onto the building, instead you go up to it and use a capture action. So this place is currently neutral, so I can just run straight in. My unit was full strength, so that thing is now currently at 5 hit points. So now it's actually got defense if the enemy wants to take it off me. Gotcha. Alright, so I've got myself my mission. Neutralize all enemy structures. Because if I can take their little base off them right here, they've not got any money coming in, and that's it. They can't train any more units. That'll be the end of this invasion. They've got a couple of free units up here, but a bridge will make an excellent choke point, so they've got no real chance of taking over these villages. Spot on. Okay, where do I want my range to be? Because, actually, my ranger could actually move forward and get a shot in. Probably best not to put him up front, however. How far can you get? You can't get that far. Okay, what I probably want to do is, yes, of course, there's his attack and movement range. So, let's make sure he doesn't actually get the chance to attack us, while I just get some reinforcements in here. And ranges are, ooh, they're expensive, gotcha. Pikemen, on the other hand, pretty cheap. Let's get another one of them, because, yeah, they're good in pairs. So 2 pikemen, that should work together pretty well. And I suspected this guy charged straight over, but because I checked his actual movement range, yeah, there's nothing he can do. This guy can get himself a crit, because, yeah, he hasn't actually moved, and he's also got the defense of the mountains there, so if someone were to attack him, he'd do very nicely. Those units just cease to exist, and I can start moving over the bridge here, spot on. Except, hang on. How about you? No, you're going to be significantly further behind, because that forest is going to slow you down. Let's actually get the pikemen up first, if at all possible. I want 2 of them floating around here. As for this infantry, you know what? Probably best we actually just start sending you north, just to actually be ready to intercept those guys if need be. And I've actually got enough money for a second ranger. Now this will do. Pikeman number 1 moves straight over here. Pikeman number 2 moves here and should get the critical because he is adjacent to another little pikeman right there. Charge in, instant kill, no backlash, job flipping done. Now, let's play this smart here. If I'm allowed to, I'd like to get a critical hit against this building, so we need to actually take it. So this guy should move over to, yeah, this spot over here would work quite nicely. And, yeah, it does still count as a critical against a building. So I can get 83 damage right there. And these guys do get a bit of a counterattack, do they? Yes, okay, so these guys do get to counterattack, but it's a weak counterattack. And do you actually get a chance to... You know what, I probably should have actually moved you up forward first. Because if I move you over to here, then you get to attack to here. That's 25%. At that point, their defenses are non-existent. The door is, in fact, open. And that means my other guys can walk straight in. Spot on. So you go over here, and then you just capture. And because this is a full-strength unit, this place will be locked up, belong to me, and be at 5 hit points, recovering 10% hit points per turn. And it is now locked up. Screw you, Ragnar. Mine now. At this point, he's out of money, because bases in this game apparently don't generate any income. It's just the actual cities or villages that do. So, he can't train anything anymore, so I should be able to... Yeah, safe thing will be to move you to there, move you to here for the critical. 77%, job flipping done, victory me, hooray for Cherrystone. I think it's safe to say Ragnar is not taking her defeat desperately well right now. But luckily this is Advance Wars, so in a moment, she'll get up, we'll have a conversation, and then we'll just sort of let her go, because it would be unsporting to do otherwise. Ragnar is in fact so upset, the next mission, heroes are taken to the field. So Mercy's on the field and so is Ragnar. But first we've got, yeah, tanks, or knights in this game, who need a bit of healing up. So healing works by... you actually choose to actively pay for it. Move next to a city, select reinforce, pay money for that. Flipping beautiful. But that lets you get troops straight up to full health, so it's not just 2 hit points a turn, it can be instantaneous, but I'm effectively leeching health off my own cities. Oh, that's such a cool system. I approve of that, lovely. So healing is something you want to be really careful about in this game, because yeah, you're making your own economic infrastructure more vulnerable, and it costs a fair bit of money too. Now, as for that knight, yeah, let's learn how his critical works. So, critical hit when it attacks from a location 6 spaces away from where it starts. Okay, so it needs a good charge up. It's like a medieval 2 Total War knight. Gotcha. So it needs to be exactly as far away as it can be from its target to do bonus damage. And oh my goodness, that's the cutest horse in the world. It just looks like a puppy. Okay, so we've got 2 ways of winning this. This here's the enemy headquarters or stronghold. If we can capture that, we win automatically. But if Ragnar's defeated, we win automatically too. But she's a tough old cookie, so I might want to take her on myself because I'm on the field and I'm a tough old cookie as well. But she can just kill my units pretty easily by herself if need be. Okay, but the economic game is very much in my favour right now, which is on their side of the field. They've got themselves 1 building, 1 barracks, and their actual stronghold, though. That generates money too, does it? Gotcha. So I can out-economy them. It's just a question of figuring out where the right moment to attack her is. And I'm going to guess, yeah, potentially, because there's a nice little narrow area along here, nailing her with a bunch of rangers and then moving in Mercia to finish her off, that's probably not bad at all. And apparently, Mercia is, yeah, she's actually an infantry unit, so she can capture as well. That's very useful to know. Right, so probability-wise, that skeleton is probably going to move to that spot right here. Because if he's going to move straight at my knight, that will be where he'd end up, logically, because that's the closest he can get. So from this spot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Spot on. My knight should just stay exactly where he is, and then he can just basically charge over to here. Ah, no. Because that's movement of 6, then he needs to attack. So he should actually move 1 further away from that spot. Okay, now if that skeleton moves as I think it's going to move, we should be able to get that critical. No, he's moving down south, unfortunately. That's fine, everything's under control. Ah, but I'm pretty confident I know what the enemy's going to do next. This here skeleton, if he can get to this spot, will come over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and he'll attack this base from the north. And my knight is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, spot on. Mercia, fall back if you'd be so kind. Let's get a good critical charge in right here. Have our troops ready to go. And also, let's get ourselves a ranger and a knight is 600. It genuinely looks like, yeah, some sort of cow puppy more than a horse. But whatever, it's adorable and I love it. And move you right here to get you nice and close to the action so the ranger is already protected by the infantry. This should go just fine. And as I suspected, he moves in, launches an assault, but he shouldn't be able to take this out in one hit. No, he can't do that. Oh, wow. Possibly the counterattack is flat damage, because, yeah, that strength 2 building did 3 hit points all by itself. So, here we go. Yeah, don't worry, Emmerich, I know what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then attack. And that should be 142%. Spot on. So with a great big run up, these guys just flippin' melt. Love it. Now, it is possible this skeleton will actually go, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 through the forest and actually launch an attack that might be able to clear out this settlement. But that's fine, because if he does decide to do that, my ranger can then just pick him off with a critical, so that will not be the worst thing in the world. And you are ready to go here and... Ah, apparently this here is... that's a beach. Okay. Ah, but being on a beach is actively dangerous. Not only does it not provide defense, it provides hazard. So you do not want to get caught on a beach. Right, while we're just waiting for our economy to sort itself out here, let's get some nice pikemen on the field. And Mercia, you just wait at the back here in case she decides to attack. Yeah, he's doing exactly what I thought, but that's fine. We can counterattack using my rangers. They might knock down this place, but they won't actually be able to take it. And she's doing exactly what I thought she might do as well. So she's going in, and a commander can, bloody hell, almost finish off the unit of infantry by itself. Not that bad, though, and they've got units heading up north. Okay, this is fine, because I can actually get myself, yeah, potentially a good charge here. Do you want to move forward? You know what, just get an attack in. 71% because of your cover. So the rangers can mostly clear out all of this. No problem whatsoever. This damaged unit probably wants to come over here and just capture this building. Just come down south, move in, reclaim it just to make sure we've still got the goal. But because that unit's so weak, the building itself will also be massively weak and vulnerable to being attacked again. Not a massive problem, though. I think we can take care of that. Okay, you come down over here and attack this guy just to finish him off, please. And then what we should probably do is, yeah, send in Mercia. Because if she gets the first hit in, that's a pretty major advantage. So, in you flipping go. She's on the road, so am I, but 45% to 24. Yeah, that's a worthwhile engagement. So when we go, captain versus captain. And if she dies, the battle is over. Marvellous. Now, how well would my knights do in theory? Actually, 30%, even without the critical. That's not bad at all, you know. That's not bad. Okay, what about you? How far can you make it? You can't get there just yet, and that is a spearman. So my knights won't be useful up north, because, yeah, those guys up there, the spearmen, good against cavalry. So you go up north to protect that, please, and I'm going to send in my cavalry to provide support against their commander, because right now, she's pretty isolated. Go for a big hit. Lots of good damage and barely any damage in return. Spot on. She'll probably have to try and fall back at this point, otherwise she's going to be very screwed. And this town is 100% safe as well. I'm going to actually bring up, yeah, more pikemen, please. A pair of them, very, very useful indeed. Now, what are you planning to do? Yep, she's running back, probably going to try and get herself reinforced. And you, can we finish you off immediately? Yes, I can. So, Mercia dives in and finishes off Ragnar. But obviously, she won't die. This is a lovely friendly game. So, victory for me. She got herself overexposed without support. Down she goes. Instant victory. But she'll be back. She'll 100% be back. Dying in Advance Wars is a mild inconvenience at best. See, Mercia's literally just going to go and leave the enemy commander right here. Oh, but it's Lord Volder. Oh, you're in trouble now, Ragnar. And just FYI, this is the leader of the blue faction, and his big thing is weather. He showed up and it started raining. And in Advance Wars 1, the leader of the blue faction is Olaf, who shows up and it starts snowing. And again, this is not criticism. I'm totally on board with this just being Advance Wars. Ah, and we've got ourselves APCs, or wagons, on this occasion. So yeah, you can load infantry into that, just to give them a whole bunch of extra movement points. Beautiful. Okay, so the actual mission I've got on this occasion is use the wagon to actually get little villagers who are going to pop up here, ferry them over to the safe area up here, and hold off against Volder. And the mission is not to defeat Volder or his never-ending swarm of troops, which naturally means I'm going to try and do precisely that. Screw you, Volder. So wagon, movement points of 12. Wow, okay. That I like. So you can actually move things around very nice and quickly. Let's just get you over here, and then you just wait there, please. Don't drop the guy off yet. Actually dump him in safe space first. Now, as for these skeletons, he's going to be moving to there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So on the bend of the road, I want my knight chilling out. You wait right there, please. You might be very, very useful down the line. And as for Mercia, she moves over here, gets ready to be involved with this business. Okay, Volder obviously opening fire on that base. It can't return fire yet, but darn it. They're being very clever. They're actually staying outside of my knight's range. Okay. No matter there, we can just basically keep my knight nice and safe, ready to get involved. And yeah, Mercia can cut straight through and kill this guy. So this guy's going to go down in one hit. Mercia might take some very, very light knocks, but it's worth it to keep that village intact, because that's 100 gold every single turn, and that's more flipping units. Now, as for up north here, yeah, that's just one spearman and one swordsman. Nothing to worry about just yet. So you come and stand right over here. You come and join over here, and we'll just form a nice line of spearmen ready to intercept these guys. And as for the wagon, that can actually drop off person number 1 in safety. Spot on. And I have the money for more rangers. Get more rangers out in the field. I feel like pikemen and rangers will be able to hold the line by themselves. Now, he's probably going to come and... No, they're going to completely skip attacking Mercia and go straight for the base. So they're not going to do much there, and, very conveniently, the counterattack will weaken them enough that the knights should be able to one-shot them in a second. Lovely. You're, however, coming for Mercia. Now, how much damage can you do? Not much. So, we can basically, yeah, finish you off next attack, no problem there whatsoever. More troops coming in, though. Mercia can't stay here forever. So, knights can just swing in, finish off these here swordsmen, but be careful with the knights around here. There are now spearmen coming in from the south. That's going to be trouble for them. Mercia, start just gently falling back here. 84% finishes you off right there. Beautiful. I might need to sacrifice that town at some point and just say, screw it, we can't hold it. And... hello, Mercia started glowing. Spot on. That's her CO power, or Wargroove in this game, which is her special healing ability. Flippin' marvellous. Alright, it's a big radius around her too. 50% to all flipping units. Spot on, including herself, and she charges it pretty quickly. Lovely, and because it's 50% to all units, yeah, better used on expensive units, because they are expensive to repair. So getting a knight back up to strength, very, very useful indeed. And speaking of the knight, it might be time for you to fall back, my good man. Now, as for these units in the forest right here, we can actually give ourselves a bit of an advantage. Move you to right here. Then move you to right here. And we can just one-shot you right flipping now. Good. Unit of swordsman goes away, no problem whatsoever. Let's just start pushing up here. where can you go? And yeah, actually, this way, all of these guys are going to be... Oh, hang on. Can you get over to... No, you can't quite attack right there. So you move over to here, if you'd be so kind, and move the Rangers up behind you. And you move up here as well. Actually, I could move up here and then actually do, yeah, a very light attack, which will just actually keep my troops a bit safer. So that is spot on. There we go. So we got ourselves a good solid line here and more pikemen coming in. But I need to start directing pikemen down south to assist with the defense there. So you start going in that direction. Obviously that means we need another pikeman as well because they work better in pairs. You can move, yeah, only 3. So the wagon just moves to right here. We need to hold this area. Those mountains might be useful. And yeah, let's just start getting a little bit of damage against the actual spearmen down here. Mercia can afford to stand and fight for the time being. That town might be getting into a bit of trouble, but it should take some damage back. If they're going to attack that town, where are they going to attack it from? They could, yeah, be here or here. I'm just going to move this guy back so we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to here. Or 6 to here. Yeah, that's probably not a terrible place for you to be waiting for a potential critical strike right there. More villagers showing up, though. I might need a second wagon just to make sure they're safe. Okay. This guy is, yeah, they're going in for the attacks right now. That's a spearman. He shouldn't be able to break that. Not quite, but it's almost neutral. So at this point, we might need to just sacrifice that. And no, that person's going for her, which is not going to work out at all. Should be able to do some good damage in return, hopefully down to below 50% health. Oh yeah, easily under 50. And, okay, that place is neutral, but it doesn't belong to them. We should just start falling back. We can't hold that area. But the mountains will assist defending further north. And as for those guys, they go down without too much of a fight there. Spot on. And the enemy's bringing in its own cavalry too. The situation is getting a bit out of hand here. Okay, you just start walking north. We will get you into a wagon as soon as possible. Situation is safe up north. In fact, you know what? You can do the rest of it on foot. That wagon needs to go and pick up that other guy. So that's absolutely fine there. We need to start putting together defense in this part of the world using these here mountains. So ignore this area. Yeah, and you... Actually, you know what? You can just reclaim this town. Get it straight back up to 4 hit points. That'd slow him down a little bit. I mean, it's probably better than actually just, yeah, killing a strength 2 skeleton. So you may as well just capture the neutral. There you go. Just be a bit of a troll there, Mercia. Spot on. Now, my knight can actually do 70% damage to that lad. But if my knight's standing there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Okay, their knight can't quite counterattack, which is fine. So you know what? I'm willing to accept that because we can just basically groove off the damage. I've got a healer. Don't worry about taking some light damage. So even though this is not a favourable engagement, I can clear those guys out right there. And that should mean these guys can't take this town just yet, which is good. So let's just start actually drawing together a bit of defense down over here. No, down over here if you'd be so kind. And yeah, we need more rangers too. Now, can we get you to... Yes, we can. We can get this guy up to here. You need to move to here to provide bonuses to these 2 squares. And then, yeah, this works. I think this works. So you move to there for that bonus. You move to here, get this bonus. That's 120 right flipping there. Then my rangers can actually get themselves an attack in after moving. So not the strongest attack, but they're on a road. So it should still work pretty well. So you can actually get an attack in right there. Oh yeah, that's 65% because they've got no defense. Absolutely flipping spot on. So you guys take the hit right there. Lovely. And now this guy with the critical bonus takes him out with no counterfire. Flipping spot on. I played a lot of Advance Wars back in the day. I'm actually pretty good at it. So, yeah, I'm not terrible at this game straight up. And you know what? This guy should start moving down south. Clearly the problem is in the south right now, so let's get the Rangers moving in that direction. Now, what are they going to try and do next? Okay, understandably, the Spearmen are going for the horses. This is going to do some bad damage, but you know what? Not bad at all. We can pretty much clear them back out. The horse is charging straight at that building. I don't know how effective horses are against this. Enough to break it down. So that's now neutral, but they don't go for the capture. Mainly because there's kind of no point going for the capture, to be honest, because, yeah, they don't actually have a base, and we're not going to let them take mine. So in come more troops, screw it. Begin falling back here. And I think, actually, my pikemen up north might be in a good enough position to just murder these guys before they can do a flipping thing. You can get to there. You can't get to there. Hang on, yeah, if you go 1, 2, 3, I can get this guy into a position to attack their ranger. Okay, that just means that this guy is... Hang on, which one's the wounded one? It's you, right? Yeah, it's you at the top. Sorry, that's not 100% clear, but if you look at the unit card down at the bottom, you can actually see that. So this guy's the wounded guy. 1, 2, 3. He's the only one that can attack the ranger. So he's going to need support to make that happen. So... Okay, you can't do anything right now, aside from moving up and providing actual bonuses to these guys. If you move to here, however, and attack this guy, that's 120 right there. So at this point, we've pretty much got him chased off the northern front with my actual pikemen. And that little critical bonus is lovely. Now, I'm assuming these guys are not... Okay, 74%, they'll do 17 back. Can these guys counterfire from range? Yes, they can, but it's probably worth it to actually keep my actual pikemen at strength. So these days, indirect fire can counterfire if they do actually have the right range for it. That's fine. That was still a victory for me right there. And these days, you, my good man, are screwed. Spot on. So these forces should now be able to deal with just about anything that comes through. Because even if he starts sending knights in this direction, these guys are good against knights. So I'd say we're in good shape. You start heading off in this direction. You can make it over to... yeah, just over to here. We've got to make sure, however, that these guys remain safe for the time being. So, you can't make it over... No, you can't make it over there. That's fine. Can I be bothered to try and defend this little base? I should probably try and defend this base because there might be more villagers coming. So, trying to hold this spot, probably a good idea. So, I can't get to the forests. Yeah, let's actually use these mountains. These mountains will do good work for me. So, if I can get up on top of the mountains, that's even flipping better. You guys get into position, and I shouldn't have done that because now they can occupy the forest, and that gives them the advantage. Okay, what can you do? If you move over here, then that's 90%, and if you're standing there, then you can't go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you can't make it round to me. So you come this way and clear out, or almost clear out that guy. So yeah, those knights are doing some good work right there. Mercia can afford to take a little bit of damage, weakening those knights right there. So she can just basically, like, you know, kill 2 horses. Oh no, only 1 horse. With, you know, her mighty, mighty sword. She's doing well. Soon she needs to actually consider healing up. And these guys need to start heading in this direction. They should be able to start assisting sooner rather than later. I probably need more flipping pikemen heading in that direction and more flipping villagers. Yeah, we can't afford to fall back to the walls yet. There's too many villagers. Now, what are you going to do next? You're going to... Oh dear, you're going to start surrounding her. That's maybe a bit concerning, but not so much because, yeah, you just can't do anything. But I need to be careful that she doesn't get herself totally surrounded by yet more reinforcements. Because if she does, there's a problem. And more bad stuff might show up yet. I mean, sure, she's doing well, but yeah, she's getting weaker. We need to do a Wargroove at some point just to get her health back. Though actually, these units are doing a good job just finishing themselves off, which is marvellous. Oh, hello! Was that a horse up north? Because that's just flipping marvellous if so. Right, cavalry, head over here and actually don't do it from that spot because I need you guys to come down here. You can most definitely finish off that unit right there. Spot on. Cavalry are... Ooh, they just disintegrate because they're undead. Lardy flippin' dar. And that means you can get an attack here. 65% is fine even without the critical. So in you go. Finish off those guys. Absolutely lovely. And that means we can start actually falling north. Though, you know what? Let's actually just reclaim that building at 5 hit points because that will just act as a bit of a speed bump for them. So we don't actually need to occupy it or anything. It's just more money. Everything's fine. But at this point, we don't try and hold that building anymore. Or maybe we do. I mean, we've got the troops here. There we flipping go. So you over there. You in here. Marvellous. Another one is free. And I think you should be able to attack these guys. Yeah. You can just one-shot those horses. Spot on. Oh, that feels nice. That feels very, very nice indeed. Now, I'm wondering if I just actually have these units just stand here, does that physically prevent any actual enemies spawning into this part of the world? At this point, if we just lock down the northern front? Because if we have, that'd be flipping marvellous. If I move you here, are you allowed to? No, you can't reinforce right now. I don't know if you're even allowed to reinforce with a commander. No, apparently I can. Okay, spot on. So commanders totally can reinforce. That's very, very useful. That means she's still got her groove. Beautiful. Do I need more? What do I need more of? More rangers or more pikemen? Probably more pikemen. A line of 4 pikes down south, supported by 2 rangers, hero and cavalry. Not bad at all, to be honest. Alright, they've got a ranger right there who does have a shot at their little building, so he'll almost certainly take that. That's fine. In which case, let's just start lining up my pikes, ready to get into position. Because he can't hit any of those spots, and you guys are much slower. Fine, let's just start getting these guys staggered down in this direction, please. And do you want to be right there? Yeah, you be right there. Can you reinforce? Yes, you can reinforce. You guys start moving down south as well. Yeah, this is looking good. I'm feeling like we can hold this, alright? When the main army shows up in the game's like, you must fall back, we can't possibly defeat him. No, I'm going to defeat him. Screw you, game, I'm doing this. Rain, Volder's getting close. Screw you, Volder. We've already got this place locked the flip down. Ah, it'll be harder now. Our ranged ground units won't be able to fire as far. Okay, fine. So I'm guessing you now actually only have a range of 2 rather than 3. And tragically, I have just checked. You can't just use pathing to actually force yourself to have critical hits. That doesn't count as a critical hit, even though he is moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It needs to be a legitimate move of 6. Fine. Yeah, and it's definitely a range of 2, not 3, because this ranger, if he moves to this spot, can't hit this guy anymore. But we can still do some decent damage to this lad, so we may as well just start weakening them a little bit, just so we can finish them off in 1 hit. In fact, you know what? Let's just actually start doing the move forward here. So, pikeman number 1 moves down over here, finishes those guys off, obviously. And then pikeman number 2 moves next to him to get a one-shot kill against this here ranger. So, as a result of that, these guys will just die instantly. You just need to keep moving down, and while you're passing by, you may as well just flipping capture the place and get this place up to 5 hit points. Keep that money coming in. Flipping spot on. So straight back over to me. I like the new capture system. The new capture system is fun. Right, and you move over to here. Because this guy can, yeah, you can only move 1, 2, 3. So this ranger is safe in this spot right over here. And actually, you know what? Mercia, you can just get yourself a nice, easy hit right there. And if I just keep my guys in a bit of a diamond, Mercia's healing ability is at its most powerful. So Mercia is doing good work, and screw it. Let's actually just get a nice critical over there, finish this lad off, and this guy is doing just fine. Down you go. Alright, we've actually got every single unit off the field right now. I feel like this is not how this mission's supposed to be played, but screw it, we're doing alright. I'm guessing Volder's showing up on turn 10. Hello there, Volder. Oh, you guys are actually spawning. Oh dear, they've found a way to spawn. You can't get around it that easily. You can't defeat him, but you can save these people. Screw you, I'm gonna do both. Mercia should hopefully be able to take him. Now you guys, if you were to move forward, would be able to get a shot. But only if these guys move over to here, which is actually quite doable. So I'm going to say, yeah, move these guys forward to here and get an attack in of 80% versus... Why is that flashing? I'm guessing it's because it's raining and he gets bonus in the rain. Alright, that's just my prediction right there. So I think we can take out Volder's forces right here and clog up this whole area. So that's pretty good right there. And then this guy, any chance you can get to? No, you can't get there. But this guy can, and gets an 81% damage against these guys. So we've got a good first solid hit right flipping there. Whatever Volder tries to do to me, we can just heal it off, so it's absolutely fine. You can just start moving into this position, ready to reinforce. You just barrel south as quickly as you flipping can. Okay, and we got these lads here as well. Now the problem is, there are rangers, and I can't get round to them right now. So probably the best thing I can do is, yeah, just basically deploy my knights down to the rear. They can really damage one of those raiders, even though they're not getting the critical. Do I want to actually commit Mercia right here? Because if I do, that's 7% back to me. But it keeps my indirect troops safe. Yes, screw it. Get in there. You're not going to be taking much damage. If Volder comes to me, it's not a big deal. So let's just start getting on that. I only take like 10% back. I can heal if need be. And that means I can actually move these troops forward. So you want to be moving over to here, and all you've got is an attack right there. Spot on. So just finish off those lads, and Volder's supposedly massive unstoppable force down south is already looking a bit on the flimsy side to me. Love it. And that's those guys finished off as well. Now, Volder can try and attack. I'm not sure he can one-shot anything that's in front of him. And next time, we'll be getting criticals off these lads. Bring in more indirect fire, alright? We can flipping defeat this guy. We can do it. How do I want to be dealing with you lads? I need to attack. If I attack you... he'll actually be able to attack back because he is technically standing next to me. You can't get close by to me. If I move you two here... Yeah, the problem is they're now up on the mountains. They've actually got some decent defense going on here. Okay, what if I move you to... I could move you to there. Okay, best thing to do is probably to attack you, like, right here. Even though you're on the mountain, I can do some good damage to you, and then just start moving you up to here. That's 46 to 13. That's worth doing. Okay, so... we're holding together for now. Those criticals are keeping me alive. Oh, more units coming in. Okay. Maybe we can't actually, like... win, but we can probably kill Volder. Alright, screw Volder. We can manage him at least. Okay, so a few more troops than I was expecting. I mean, we could just try and fall back to the actual keep. I mean, we could hold the keep around here a lot more easily. We absolutely could. But I do actually want this guy to straight up die. Okay, how easily can we move you around? You can move over to here and get a shot on that cavalry. You can move to here. That gets you... okay, that's 18%. If we're lucky, that's enough to kill you. If it doesn't, that's really bad luck, and it looks like we've just pulled it off there. Good. That means my troops can start getting into position to actually, yeah, potentially start attacking Volder himself. Okay, let's just use the cavalry on him, so we can get 71% against him immediately. Alright, if we start taking damage, then remember, I've got the groove, and I've not used the groove just yet. I feel like next turn might be the groove turn. We're coming up on it here. You might want to start actually moving into position, yeah, to actually start clearing these lads out. So, Mercia is just basically right now positioning herself ready to attack Volder. Because Volder is being a coward and trying to retreat. And I shall not flipping allow it. So, at this point, yeah, bring the strength 9-1 down here. He can get 65% against the knight and provide phalanx bonus to the next guy who can actually start getting attacks in on Volder. Flipping spot on. Now, the only one who can get down here is the strength 8. He can do 16%. Only 16. It's not much, is it? No, it might be worth actually holding back. And yeah, just clearing out these lads as best we can. And, okay, in what order do we need to do that? You need to... yeah, you can just get an attack in down there. That's a 60% attack, which is solid enough against pikemen. We just need to start clearing out some of this army right here. This is fine. If you could move to... you move to here and clear out these lads, and then the other guy can just actually clear out the cavalry that's currently at 4 hit points. So, Volder simply doesn't have much to attack with right now. So you move to there, and you can finish off the horses. Lovely. So that horse is as good as done, and just keep moving the reinforcements. Well, when I say keep moving the reinforcements... right, we got trouble over here. Let's actually get 1 unit in this direction. You guys... try and keep things safe as well as you can. Though, actually, we probably don't need to. We've got a knight right here. This is going fine, aside from this bit over here. This bit over here, less good, I'll freely admit. But we can still get some big damn hits in if we just take advantage of the phalanx bonuses here. Now, Volder, what are you planning to do right now? Volder is... okay, he's started to expose himself against a couple of rangers. He's not using his Wargroove yet. Now, understandably, they're attacking those cavalry, and those cavalry are done. That is a shame. Okay, that's fine. Okay, in comes more. Not much more. Bit more. Okay, fair bit more, admittedly. Okay, it's time to actually turn all our firepower onto him. Can you get up on the mountain, by the way? No, you can't quite get up on the mountain, unfortunately. I assume that's worth, like, yeah, 3 movement points. So that's 2, that's 3, and that'll be 5 in total, and she's only got 4. But you, in fact, need to 5%. Every little flipping helps, I suppose. Get in there, get a very, very light tap in, and you cannot defeat me. I think we can. Yeah, there we are. 40 damage to him, 24 in return. Mercia, this one's on you. Get in there. We can beat this guy. When I say we beat this guy, I don't know whether we actually can. I mean, I would assume we can, and he's got magic mind. He doesn't have magic, but I can heal myself. Okay, what I need to do is, this guy needs to finish off the cavalry, because the cavalry is an easy pick-off. So, we can just basically deal with them immediately. Alright, then we've got ourselves a whole bunch of units right here. You can wipe out, and when I say wipe out, you'll take some damage in return, but I think it's actually worth it. Get over there, finish that off. They will certainly go and attack the Rangers, because they'll feel like that's their best bet. But we're okay. And I think we should bring reinforcements over here. These pikemen, if they move into this forest, yeah, next turn, they can attack him from the mountains and... Okay, when we say you can't defeat me, maybe we do actually mean literally we can't defeat him. Because I can't help but notice, he appears to be back at full health. Yeah, he's definitely just regenerating all of his health between turns, which is, that's a problem. Okay, retreat. We've done a lot of flipping damage, but I didn't realise this was one of those physically couldn't win fights. I thought this was one of those Advance Wars style fights, where the game's like, your objective is to fall back, but you can actually win a conventional victory if you're really good at the game. Turns out, no, not on this occasion. Turns out this is just one of those, he's magic, you're screwed situations. Gotcha. She needs to fall back and cast that healing aura. So, here we go! And it even flipping looks like the CO effect for Advance Wars 1. Those guys heal up. Lovely. Though actually, I can't help but notice, no more reinforcements seem to be showing up all of a sudden. Which is of interest. Okay, is potentially the last person on the field just going to be Volder? And if the last person on the field could just be Volder, at that point, could we just actually kill him by surrounding him and just battering with everything in a single turn? Alright, the fight might be back on. Tragically not. If you actually weaken his army sufficiently, the game just keeps spawning in more. You know what? We've put up a damn good fight here. We held him off. We bottlenecked him up. But I think, unfortunately, it is time to go. But you know what? Everyone who's still here, nice and back inside the palace, please. Nice and back inside the palace. I suspect, even though I'm naffing off at this point, we would be able to hold on for a very, very long time indeed, actually. Yes, because this is a very good choke point to try and hold. Also, the game technically considers that a rank C, and I'm guessing the reason for that is the game is expecting you to try and do this really fast. Get the refugees out, escape, take as few losses as possible. So, 36 units defeated is actually very, very good indeed for only 12 units lost. But unfortunately, the game has decided not to acknowledge my act of utter badass heroism and has instead penalised me for taking a bit too long. Oh, but a new contender has entered the field. Hello there, plant people. Right, I guess we'll be running into you lads momentarily then. Ah, we've got ourselves a new commander here as we take on the Florins. So you, my good man, we're now taking control of. And he lays down a gem that provides a defensive bonus to all units nearby. Spot on. But more importantly, we've got a new unit. The Battle Pup. This is the recon unit, by the way. So yes, it's on pause, which means it sometimes struggles to navigate tough terrain. But if it can get into a good spot, like on top of a mountain, because apparently they can actually climb a mountain, yep, we can actually see what's going on. Beautiful. Though, hang on. How did they actually see what was in the trees? Ah, the Battle Pup has a special ability to reveal cloaked units. So normally in Fog of War, a unit that's inside a forest, you can't see that unless you're adjacent to it. But a Battle Pup can. And they are also capable of actually, yeah, climbing up mountains, which is kind of cool. And these lads are soldiers, and they're the equivalent of basic infantry. And the Battle Pup, their critical is, yes, if another dog is adjacent to the target, not to them themselves. So, if I just move you over to here, that would be 56%. But if I just instead say, hang on, you guys, yeah, just hang out right there and don't do anything, in fact. Then now there is another Battle Pup right there. Now it's 84%. Flipping beautiful. So we can just go in. And by the way, if a dog gets killed in this game, he doesn't get killed, he just runs away. Unlike every other unit that like fades away and a little ghost appears and it's clear it's dead. No, puppies don't get hurt in this game. The puppies just run away and live happily ever after in a farm in Peru. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I think you get the point. This here is Wargroove, and it's perfect. It's perfect because it's Advance Wars, with a couple of fun, new, interesting twists put in on the top just to freshen up the formula, but at its core, it's Advance Wars, and Advance Wars was a perfect game, so this is pretty much a perfect game. And if this isn't my Game of the Year 2019, I will be genuinely shocked. It just nails everything. It gets the magic of Advance Wars just right, and I'm genuinely thrilled. I'm genuinely so happy that 15 years after Advance Wars 2, a game has finally shown up that has managed to recapture its magic. And it wasn't even Nintendo that made it. Someone else just stepped in and filled that void. And it's marvellous. It's just flipping marvellous. You will see this again, ladies and gentlemen. I want to do more of this flipping campaign. And I want to share that with you, ladies and gentlemen, because this game is flipping wonderful. So, more to come very, very soon indeed. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been many a true nut. And this has been the absolutely flipping spectacular Wargroove. Thank you very much, and goodbye. You know, I really hope we've agreed open borders with Japan, by the way. Otherwise, they have basically just invaded. I may have picked the wrong fight over... Yep. And my cities, of course, have got even more flipping high-tech. They're mysteriously still completely dependent on, you know, an aqueduct. Now, I'm not saying your entire army is mostly already dead, but it kind of actually is.